The caged guitar system is an easy method for learning to play chords and scales on the entire fretboard. For example, there's an open C chord. Then, moving up the neck, we have a C chord based on an open A shape. Extending from that, we have a C chord based on an open G shape. Connecting to that, we have an 8th fret C chord based on an E shape. This connects to a C chord based on an open D chord shape. Altogether, we have a caged C chord using the shapes C, A, G, E, and D. Knowing these different chord positions will allow you to be more creative and create many different voicings rather than just playing the same group of chords. For example, if we take two simple chord progressions like G to C, we can easily spice things up by moving to higher or lower chord positions. Yet we're still playing the same two chords, G to C. For each chord position, we will also be learning scale positions, which you will use to create fills as well as lead guitar solos. By the end of this course, you will have caged major, minor, and 7th chords, along with major and minor pentatonic and diatonic scales, which means you will have a very thorough understanding of the fretboard in its entirety. Let's get started by learning basic open chord shapes. The first chord we have is an open C chord. The common fingering for this open chord is first string open, no fingers, no frets. On the 2nd string, place your index finger on the 1st fret. The 3rd string is open. On the 4th string, place your middle finger on the 2nd fret. And on the 5th string, place your ring finger on the 3rd fret. The 6th string is not played. With your fingers in place, strum strings 5 through 1. If your notes are not ringing clear, check for these issues. First, are your fingertips as close to the fret wire as possible? If your fingers are too far back, it requires more finger strength to hold the strings down. For beginners, this may be difficult and would result in muted notes. So slide your fingers as close to the fret wire as possible and strum. Another issue preventing notes from ringing out is when your fingers are right on top of the fret wire. You want them just behind the fret wire so you can easily produce a clear tone. The third issue might be because your fingers are touching the other strings. For example, you don't want the bottom of your index finger to touch the 1st string because it would mute it. So roll your fretted fingers up so they are only touching the strings you are fretting and allow all other strings to ring out as desired. The next chord in the caged method is the A chord. The 1st string is open. 2nd string is played with the 3rd or ring finger on the 2nd fret. 3rd string is middle finger on the 2nd fret. 4th string is index finger on the 2nd fret. The 5th string is open, and the 6th string is not used. Strum strings 5 through 1. Here's the open G chord, which is played on the 1st string, 3rd fret with your ring or pinky finger. Use whichever is most comfortable. Strings 2, 3, and 4 are open. Place your index finger on the 5th string's 2nd fret and your middle finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret. Then strum all 6 strings. The E chord is open on strings 1 and 2. Hold the 3rd string 1st fret with your index finger, 4th string 2nd fret with your ring finger, 5th string 2nd fret with your middle finger, and the 6th string is open. Finally, we have the D chord, which I play on the 1st string 2nd fret with the index, 2nd string 3rd fret with the ring finger, 3rd string 2nd fret with the middle finger, and the 4th string is open. Strings 5 and 6 are not played, so strum strings 4 through 1. Here's an exercise playing all 5 chords. Next, we need to learn to move each chord form up the neck as bar chords. Starting with the C chord, if we move the entire shape up 1 fret, we have a C sharp chord. To do this, we need to bar our index finger across the 1st fret of strings 1, 2, and 3, then place your middle finger on the 2nd string 2nd fret. On the 4th string, place your ring finger on the 3rd fret, and on the 5th string, play the 4th fret with your pinky. Strum strings 5 through 1. If you are a beginner, the 5th string pinky note might be difficult, so until you build up pinky strength, you can abbreviate this chord by eliminating the 5th string, strumming strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now move everything up 1 fret and you have a D. Again, the index finger bars strings 1, 2, and 3, middle on the 2nd string, ring on the 4th string, and for advanced players, pinky on the 5th string. If you move up again, so your index finger is on the 3rd fret, you have an E flat chord. Move your index finger up 1 more time to the 4th fret, and you have an E chord. Every fret changes to the next chord in the musical alphabet. Here's the movable C chord with a tempo. To move the A chord up the neck, we have to bar the index finger across the 1st fret on strings 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next, place your pinky on the 2nd string 3rd fret, ring finger on the 3rd string 3rd fret, and middle finger on the 4th string 3rd fret. Now strum strings 5 through 1. If this fingering is comfortable for you, continue to move this chord shape up the neck. Having taught guitar for over 20 years, I can tell you this is a very difficult chord to play. Instead of barring from strings 1 through 5, you can eliminate the first string note, and this allows you to simply hold the 5th string with your index finger and move that shape up the neck. Another way to cheat at this chord is to bar your ring finger across strings 2, 3, and 4. So with your index finger on the 5th string 1st fret, bar your ring finger across the 3rd fret on strings 2, 3, and 4. Strum strings 5 through 2, then move up to the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and on. Okay, so now you have 3 options for playing the A form bar chord: the traditional index finger bar chord, eliminating the index finger bar and strumming strings 5 through 2, or using the ring finger to bar strings 2, 3, and 4. Use whichever shape works best for you throughout this video. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the musical alphabet for the benefit of any beginner students who are watching this video. Starting with the open A, move up to the 1st fret position, and we have an A sharp. All sharp notes have 2 names, so the A sharp chord is also the B flat chord. Up to the 2nd fret, we have a B chord. There are no sharp and flat notes between B and C, so when we move up to the 3rd fret, we have a C chord. Up to the 4th fret for the C sharp D flat chord. Index finger to the 5th fret for a D chord. To the 6th fret for D sharp E flat. 7th fret is E. There are no sharp or flat notes between E and F, so the 8th fret is an F chord. Up to the 9th fret for F sharp, 10th fret for G, up to the 11th fret for G sharp, which is also A flat. Why? Because the musical alphabet only has 12 notes, so after A flat, when we move up to the 12th fret, we are starting over again at the A chord. Starting with our index finger on the 12th fret, the musical alphabet repeats itself. So we have the A octave chord, A sharp B flat, B, C, C sharp D flat, D, and on as we travel up the neck. Here's our movable A chord shape with a tempo. In order to move the open G chord, we need to bar the index finger across the 1st fret of strings 2, 3, and 4. On the 1st string, play the 4th fret with your pinky, stretch your middle finger to the 5th string 3rd fret, and your ring finger to the 6th string 4th fret, and strum all 6 strings. In this 1st fret position, the chord is a G sharp or an A flat. If this fingering is comfortable for you, keep moving up the neck. In the 2nd fret position, we have an A. Up to the 3rd fret for A sharp or B flat. 4th fret is B. 5th fret is C. This is a very tough bar chord for many players, so until you get it down, it is very acceptable for you to abbreviate the chord. For example, you can just play the notes on strings 4, 5, and 6. Place your index finger on the 4th string 1st fret. You can use your ring here for the 5th string 3rd fret, and pinky for the 6th string 4th fret. Strum strings 6, 5, and 4. Using the same fingering, you can also bar your index finger across the 1st fret of strings 2, 3, and 4. And probably the most common abbreviation for this movable chord shape is to eliminate strings 6 and 5, keep your index finger barred across 2, 3, and 4, and add your pinky to the 1st string and strum 4 through 1. So we have 4 options for playing the movable G chord shape. The traditional bar chord, the abbreviation playing strings 4, 5, and 6, adding the index finger bar and strumming 6 through 2, removing 6 and 5, and bar strings 4, 3, and 2 with your index, and add the pinky to the 1st string 4th fret. Whichever one works best for you is the shape you should use for your first time through this video. If you're not using the full bar chord for any of these movable shapes, later you could repeat these lessons and work your way up to the full chords. Here's the movable G shape with a tempo. Starting with the E chord shape, to move this up the neck, we have to bar the index finger across the 1st fret on all 6 strings. On the 3rd string, play the 2nd fret with the middle finger. On the 4th string, play the 3rd fret with the pinky. On the 5th string, play the 3rd fret with the ring finger. This is the most popular of all bar chords. If you're comfortable with this fingering, just keep moving it up the neck. A lot of times this chord shape is abbreviated to use just strings 3, 4, 5, and 6. Simply eliminate the index finger bar chord across the 1st fret. Just be sure not to strum strings 1 and 2. Here, your index finger should be on the 6th string 1st fret. Place your ring finger on the 5th string 3rd fret, pinky on the 4th string 3rd fret, and middle on the 3rd string 2nd fret. Strum down, being sure to stop after the 3rd string. The next abbreviation we see for this movable chord shape is to eliminate the 5th and 6th string notes. So bar the index finger across the 1st and 2nd string on the 1st fret, middle finger on the 2nd string 2nd fret, ring finger on the 3rd string 3rd fret, and strum strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. If the index finger bar is giving you trouble, you can just use it to hold the 2nd string 1st fret. Then strum strings 4, 3, and 2. So we have the full bar chord, the lower end chord on strings 3, 4, 5, and 6, the higher end chord on strings 4 through 1, and the 3-finger chord on strings 4, 3, and 2. Decide which chord works best for you and use that fingering for the next exercise. In order to move the D chord shape from its open position, we have to free up our index finger to hold the 4th string 1st fret. Place your middle finger on the 3rd string 3rd fret, pinky on the 2nd string 4th fret, and ring on the 1st string 3rd fret, and strum strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. If this is comfortable for you, keep moving it up the fretboard. A common mistake people make when playing this chord shape is to only leave 1 fret distance between the index and the rest of the notes. Just remember to keep 1 fret distance between the index finger and the other fretted notes. The easiest way to cheat on this chord shape is to just play the notes on strings 3, 2, and 1. Another method is to play a power chord. In other words, place your index finger on the 4th string 1st fret, ring finger on the 3rd string 3rd fret, and pinky on the 2nd string 4th fret, and strum strings 4, 3, and 2, and move it up the neck. You can also add the 5th string to this chord for a deeper voicing. To do this, keep your pinky and ring fingers in place, but bar your index finger across the 1st fret of strings 4 and 5. With your fingers in place, strum strings 5 through 2, and move this shape up the neck. And another voicing you can add to this chord is to place your middle finger on the 6th string 3rd fret. So for this movable D-shaped chord, we have the traditional bar chord, strings 3, 2, and 1, the power chord on strings 4, 3, and 2, the deeper power chord by barring the index on strings 4 and 5, and a deeper major chord by adding the middle to the 6th string 3rd fret. As with the exercises before, find the one that works best for you for this and future exercises. The reason we call this the cage system is because each chord can be moved around the neck by overlapping each chord shape in the order of the letters that spell caged: C, A, G, E, and D. Starting with the open C chord, the C note on the 5th string 3rd fret overlaps to the next position, which is the A shape or A form C chord. Remember, it's not an A chord, just the A chord shape. So we are still playing a C chord. From this A shape, the notes on the 5th fret overlap to the G chord shape. From this G shape, the notes on the 8th fret connect to the E chord shape. From this E shape C chord, the C note on the 4th string 10th fret connects us to the D shape C chord. And that's how we caged the C chord. C in its open C chord shape, C in the A chord shape, C in the G chord shape, C in the E chord shape, C in the D chord shape. From this D-shaped C chord, we can even continue up the neck because the notes on strings 1, 2, and 3 connect us back up to the C shape. Here you can caged the C chord all over again and keep going as high as your guitar allows. So altogether, the C chord caged uses the shapes C, A, G, E, and D. Now let's practice the C caged with a slow and fast tempo. Remember, if you are a beginner or if some of these chord shapes are difficult for you, please use the easier fingerings we went over earlier. Once you get the hang of it, you can always come back and use the full fingerings. The whole reason for learning the caged system is so you could spice things up when you are playing a song by using different positions or different voicings instead of repeating the same chord progression. For example, a common chord progression is C to G. By knowing the caged system, you can make this chord progression very interesting by moving to different caged positions. Say this C to this G. First, let's learn the caged G chord, then we'll practice moving a progression up the neck. The lowest possible G chord is played by using the open G shape. From there, we'll continue to spell out caged. So from the open G chord, the notes on the 1st and 6th string connects us to the E-shaped G chord on the 3rd fret. From the E shape, the notes on the 4th and 5th string connect us to the D-shaped G chord on the 5th fret. So far for the G chord, we have the shapes G, E, D. After the D shape, the caged system starts over. From the D shape, the notes on strings 1, 2, and 3 will connect us to the C shape. After the C shape, the 5th string G connects us to the A-shaped G chord on the 10th fret. After the A shape, the notes on strings 2, 3, and 4 connect us to the octave G shape on the 12th fret. And as long as you have frets, you can continue to the E shape on the 15th fret and D shape on the 17th fret and on up the neck as long as you have frets. Here's the G caged with a tempo. Now let's put it all together and make some music. We'll start out slowly, strumming the open C chord once and hold for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then switch to the open G chord, strum once and hold for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then move up to the next caged position for each chord. For C, we'll play an A form C chord on the 3rd fret. Remember, if this chord is giving you trouble, you can play an easier version by eliminating the index finger bar. You can also bar your ring finger across the 5th fret of strings 2, 3, and 4. Whichever chord you use, strum once and hold for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then switch to the 3rd fret G chord or the E-shaped G chord. Strum once and hold for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat the rhythm. C, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. And move up to the next caged position. We are playing a G form C chord with the index barring the 5th fret, pinky on the 1st string 8, middle on the 5th string 7, and ring on the 6th string 8. You could play the full bar chord or use one of the abbreviations we learned earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then switch to the D-shaped G chord, index on the 4th string 5th fret, middle on the 3rd string 7, pinky on the 2nd string 8, and ring on the 1st string 7. Whenever you play this D shape, you can also add the 5th string to give it more depth by barring your index across the 4th and 5th strings. Don't forget, you can replace the 1st string, 7th fret, with the 6th string 7th fret. And for beginners, you can also have the power chord version or the deep power chord version. Repeat the progression. C, 2, 3, 4 to G, 2, 3, 4. The next cage position brings us to the E-shaped C chord on the 8th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the C-shaped G chord on the 7th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. C, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. And to finish this caged chord progression, we have the D-shaped C chord on the 10th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the A-shaped G chord on the 10th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. C, 2, 3, 4 to G, 2, 3, 4. Here's the full exercise with a slow tempo for beginners, then a faster tempo for more advanced players. By now, you should see the value of the CAGED system. Be sure to incorporate any tricks and techniques you already know. For example, you could fingerpick each chord, you could switch to different chord shapes before changing chords. Open C to 3rd fret C, 3rd fret G to 5th fret G. And also, don't think you have to follow the chords in order of the letter shapes C, A, G, E, D. You could skip around to your liking. Let's move on to another popular chord progression using the chords G, C, and D. To start, let's learn the D chord with the CAGED system. The lowest possible position to play D is the open D, which is the last letter when we spell CAGED. So from the open D, we overlap or connect to the C-shaped D chord on the 2nd fret. This connects us to the A-shaped D chord on the 5th fret, which connects us to the G-shaped D chord on the 7th fret. Then the E-shaped D chord on the 10th fret, then full circle to the octave D-shaped D chord on the 12th fret. We'll start our progression with the open G, 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch to open C, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then open D, 1, 2, 3, 4, and D again. 1, 2, 3, 4. To pick up the pace a little, we'll move right to the next CAGED position for each chord. 3rd fret, E-shaped G. 3rd fret, A-shaped C, and 2nd fret, C-shaped D, and D again, then up to the 5th fret, D-shaped G chord, 5th fret, G-shaped C, 5th fret, A-shaped D, up to the 7th fret, C-shaped G chord, 8th fret, E-shaped C, and 7th fret, G-shaped D. Next is the 10th fret, A-shaped G chord, 10th fret, D-shaped C, and 10th fret, E-shaped D. Here's the G, C, and D chord progression with a slow and fast tempo. I'll be playing a basic tempo, but feel free to add your own rhythm. You could strum on each count, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could add eighth notes, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Maybe even fingerpick. Add anything you like to make these exercises more interesting and challenging. The magic of the caged position is that it can be applied to every chord you learn. Take this quick change chord progression in A. The chords are A, D, E, D. We've already caged the D chord, so let's start with an A. To play the A chord caged, we see that the lowest pitch chord is the open A chord. So we'll begin on the open A shape and keep following the caged letters in order. The shapes will be A, G, E, D, C. Start with the open A shape, and the second, third, and fourth string notes will overlap to connect to the G shape. From the G shape, the notes on the first and sixth string will connect us to the E shape. From the E shape, the notes on the fourth and fifth string will connect us to the D shape. So far for the A chord, we have the shapes A, G, E, D, and after D, the cage system starts over. From the D shape, the notes on strings 1, 2, and 3 will connect us to the C shape A chord. The C shape fifth string note connects us to the octave A shape. The A shape second, third, and fourth string notes connect us to the G shape. G shape to the E shape. E shape always connects us to the D if your fretboard goes high enough. Here's A caged with a tempo. Starting with the open E, the fourth string note connects us to the D shape E chord. Strings 1, 2, and 3 connect us to the C shape E chord. The fifth string note connects us to the A shape E chord. The notes on strings 2, 3, and 4 connect us to the G shape E chord. And that brings us back to the octave E chord. Then to the D, and on up the neck as far as we can go. Here's the E caged with the tempo. Start with the open A for counts 1 and 2, switch to open D for 3, 4, open E for 1, 2, back to D for 3, 4. Then repeat. Then move up to the 2nd fret G shape A chord, 2nd fret C shape D chord, 2nd fret D shape E chord, back to the C-shaped D, and repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next is the 5th fret E-shape A chord, 5th fret A-shape D chord, 4th fret C-shape E chord, back to A-shape D, and repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Move up to the 7th fret D-shape A chord, 7th fret G-shape D chord, 7th fret A-shape E chord, then back to the G-shape D chord, and repeat. And next is the 9th fret C-shape A chord, 10th fret E-shape D chord, 9th fret G-shape E chord, and back to the E-shape D. Repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is with a slow and fast tempo. Minor chords can also be caged. Starting with the open C minor, there are 4 ways you can play this chord in the open position. First string, 3rd fret with your pinky. Second string, 1st fret with your middle. 3rd string open. 4th string, 1st fret with your index. Strings 5 and 6 are not played, so strum 4 through 1. If this is too difficult, you can eliminate the 1st string note and strum strings 4, 3, and 2. To add depth, place your pinky on the 5th string 3rd fret and strum strings 5, 4, 3, and 2. Or, if this is too difficult, eliminate the 2nd string note, and you could even use your ring to play the 5th string 3rd fret and strum 5, 4, and 3. Play it with me. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The open A minor is very similar to the E major chord from part 1 of this video. Play the open E. Now just move all of your fingers down one string and strum 5 through 1. So the 1st string is open, 2nd string 1st fret with the index, 3rd string 2nd fret with the ring, 4th string 2nd fret with the middle, and the 5th string is open. Play it along with me. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play the G major chord that we already learned. To make this a G minor, add your ring finger to the 2nd string 3rd fret and drop your index finger down to the 5th string 1st fret and strum all 6 strings. A lot of guitar players find this fingering difficult at first, and if that is the case, eliminate the 6th string note and roll your wrist back to a more comfortable position, strumming strings 5 through 1. Another alternative is to play the 3rd and 4th string open, 5th string 1st fret with your index, and 6th string 3rd fret with your ring. Try them all and see which one works best for you. All together, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The E minor is probably the easiest chord we've learned so far. Strings 1, 2, and 3 are open. 4th string 2nd fret is played with the middle finger. 5th string 2nd fret is played with the index, and the 6th string is open. Here it is with a 4 count. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we play the open D chord that we learned in part 1 of this video, we can easily switch to a D minor by sliding the index finger down from the 1st string 2nd fret to the 1st string 1st fret and strum strings 4 through 1, and you have an open D minor chord. You can also add the open 5th string for depth, and you can alternate your index finger from the 1st string 1st fret to the 6th string 1st fret. Just be sure to strum strings 6 through 2 and avoid the 1st string. Play it with me. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that we've learned all of the open minor chord shapes, let's practice them together. Remember, it's perfectly acceptable for you to use an easier version of any chord. Just substitute what works best for you and play along with the exercise. Here it is with the slow and fast tempo. Now let's learn to move these minor chord shapes up the neck. Starting with the C minor, in order to move this chord up the neck, we first have to free up our index finger and hold the 3rd string 1st fret. On the 4th string, hold the 2nd fret with your middle finger, 2nd string 2nd fret with the ring, and 1st string 4th fret with the pinky. Strum 4 through 1. Don't forget, you can also simplify this chord by playing strings 2, 3, and 4. Or you can enhance the lower end by placing your pinky on the 5th string 4th fret, along with your middle on the 4th string 2nd, and index on the 3rd string 1. Strum strings 5, 4, and 3. For the sake of completeness, I want to show you an even lower option for playing this chord. Here, you can add the 6th string 4th fret with your ring finger, 5th string 4th fret with your pinky, and play the 4th string 2nd fret with your index. Strum strings 6, 5, and 4. So now we have strings 1 through 4, 2 through 4, 5 through 3, or 6 through 4. Since there are so many options for this chord shape, we will use this universal chord chart for the rest of this video. Obviously, it would be impossible to play all 6 notes, so when you see this chart, use whichever version you like best. So if you like strings 1 through 4, use that fingering to move up the fretboard. If you like 2 through 4, 5 through 3, or 6 through 4. By the way, in this 1st fret position, this chord is a C sharp minor. Up to the 2nd fret for D minor, 3rd fret is E flat minor, 4th fret is E, and on up the neck. To move the A minor chord shape from its open position, we need to bar the index finger across the 1st fret of strings 1 through 5, add your middle finger to the 2nd string 2nd fret, then 3rd string 3rd fret with the pinky, and 4th string 3rd fret with the ring finger. Strum 5 through 1, and you have a B flat minor. Move it up 1 more fret, and you have a B minor. Up to the 3rd fret for C minor, and here it is with the tempo. When barring the G minor chord shape, we have a few options. Our fullest sounding option is to bar the index finger across the 1st fret of strings 3 and 4, 5th string 2nd fret with the middle finger, bar the pinky across the 4th fret on strings 1 and 2, then strum strings 5 through 1. One way to cheat at this chord is to eliminate the 5th string note and strum strings 4 through 1. This is technically a power chord, but it will work in place of the full chord most of the time. Another option is to eliminate the 1st and 2nd string bar and use the pinky only to play the 2nd string 4th fret and add the 5th string 2nd fret with the middle finger. A third alternative is to eliminate the 1st and 2nd strings altogether and add the 6th string 4th fret with your pinky. Again, we will be using a universal chord chart for this chord shape, and you'll be able to decide which version you prefer. In this 1st fret position, we have a G sharp or an A flat minor. Up to the 2nd fret for an A minor chord, 3rd fret is B flat minor, and on up the neck. To move the E minor chord shape up the neck, we first have to bar the 1st fret across all 6 strings, then add the pinky to the 4th string 3rd fret and ring to the 5th string 3rd fret. You could strum all 6 strings. Or you can abbreviate to strings 1 through 3, strings 1 through 4. Either way, in this 1st fret position, we're playing an F minor chord. Up to the 2nd fret for F sharp minor, 3rd fret for G minor, and on. An easy way to move the D minor chord shape is to use only the fretted notes on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. Just move the shape up and down the neck. And that way you have a very easy way to play this movable chord. To bar the D minor chord shape and make it movable, we first have to free up the index finger and place it on the 4th string 1st fret. Your middle finger goes to the 1st string 2nd fret, pinky to the 2nd string 4th fret, and ring to the 3rd string 3rd fret. Strum strings 4 through 1. You can also add the 5th string 1st fret with a finger bar. And again, you could alternate the middle finger between the 1st string 2nd fret and the 6th string 2nd fret. In this 1st fret position, we have an E flat minor. 2nd fret is E minor, 3rd fret is F minor, and on up the alphabet as we move this shape up the neck. Now that we've learned all the open minor chord shapes, it's time to apply the caged system to the C minor chord. First, we have our open C minor position. Here, the chord notes on the first or the fifth string are what connect us to the A shape C minor, which is played on the 3rd fret. From this A shape C minor chord, the notes on the 3rd and 4th strings connect us to the G shape C minor chord on the 5th fret. From the G shape C minor chord, the notes on strings 1 or 2, or on the 6th string, will connect us to overlap to the E shape C minor chord on the 8th fret. From the E shape C minor chord, the notes on strings 4 and or 5 will connect us to the D shape C minor chord on the 10th fret. Altogether, this spells caged, or the caged C minor chord, starting with the open C position, A, G, E, and D. That was a simple C minor, G minor chord progression. I added some scale runs to spice things up, which we will learn to do shortly. But first, let's learn the caged G minor chord so we can enhance this chord progression in different positions on the neck. The lowest possible G minor chord is the open G minor in its natural shape. Remember, we're spelling the words caged to find the next position. So since we are starting with an open G minor, the next letter after G in the word caged is E. And as we see, the notes on strings 1 and 2 and 6 are what bridge or connect the G shape G minor chord to the E shape G minor chord on the 3rd fret. From this position, the notes on the 4th and 5th strings bring us to the next shape, the D shape G minor chord on the 5th fret. So for G minor, we have the shapes G, E, D, and after D, we start to spell caged all over again. From this D shape G minor chord, the notes on the 2nd and 3rd strings connect us to the C shape G minor chord on the 7th fret. Here, the notes on the 1st or the 5th string bridge or connect us to the A shape G minor chord on the 10th fret. Let's put it all together with the tempo. We'll start this progression with the open C minor chord, change to the open G minor chord, and repeat the chord change. Then we'll move up to the next caged position. For C minor, the next position will be the A shape C minor chord on the 3rd fret. For G minor, we're playing the E shape G minor chord on the 3rd fret. Repeat the rhythm. Then switch to the G shape C minor chord on the 5th fret. For G minor, play the D shape G minor chord on the 5th fret. Repeat. Then switch to the E shape C minor chord on the 8th fret. Then the C shape G minor chord on the 7th fret. And for the last position, we move up to the D shape C minor chord on the 10th fret and the A shape G minor chord on the 10th fret. Let's play this with the tempo. Beginners, try to keep up by strumming on the 1 count. As you get comfortable, you could finger pick along with me or even add your own strumming pattern. The main thing you want to do is make sure you change each chord in time with me. Here's a common 4-chord progression combining major and minor chords: C, A minor, G to F. We've already caged C and G, so let's start with A minor. The open A minor uses our natural A-shaped chord. So the next letter in caged is G. The common notes between the A minor chord and the G minor chord shape are the third and fourth string notes. So from the open A minor, our G shape A minor is played on the second fret. After the G, the next letter in the cage system is E. So from this G shape A minor, the notes on strings 1 and 2 or on 6 will connect us to the E shape A minor chord that's on the 5th fret. From this position, the 4th and 5th string notes connect us to the D shape A minor chord on the 7th fret. From the D shape A minor chord, the notes on the 2nd and 3rd string connect us to the C shape A minor chord. This is on the 9th fret. So now we've caged to A minor, starting with A minor open, to the G shape, to the E shape, to the D shape. And D brings us back to C, and from here we could keep going. C, A, G, E, and D. And here's the F major chord caged. Since there isn't an open F chord, the closest position to an open chord is the E shape F chord on the 1st fret. E shape connects to the D shape F chord on the 3rd fret. And here, just like we did with the minor D shape chords, I want to show you some alternative notes that can be added to the D shape chords. To deepen this chord, add a finger across the 3rd fret of strings 4 and 5. You can also alternate between the 1st and 6th string notes on the 5th fret. This D shape F chord connects with the C shape F chord on the 5th fret. C connects with the A shape F chord on the 8th fret. A connects with the G shape F chord on the 10th fret. And this brings us full circle to the 13th fret octave F chord. Starting with the open positions, we have C to A minor, to G, to an E-shaped F chord. In the next position, we switch to the A-shaped C chord on the 3rd fret, G shape A minor chord on the 2nd fret. 3rd fret is an E shape G chord. Then the D shape F chord. Next, we move up to the 5th fret G shape C chord. Then the E shape A minor, D shape G chord, and C shape F. All the chords in this position are on the 5th fret. The 4th position brings us to the E shape C chord on the 8th fret. Then a D shape A minor on the 7th fret. A C shape G on the 7th fret. Then an A shape F chord on the 8th fret. The last position is the D shape C chord on the 10th fret. The C shape A minor is on the 9th fret. Up to an A shape G chord on the 10th fret. And end with a G shape F chord on the 10th fret. In popular music, the most common chords are major and minor, which we have already caged. Another very popular chord is the 7 chord. We haven't really talked too much about music theory on this video, so let's take a quick look at how chords are built. Using a major scale, the 1st, 3rd, and 5th notes are used to build a major chord. So using the C major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the first note is a C, the 3rd tone is E, and the 5th tone is G. So C, E, and G make up the notes to a C major chord. If we look at this open C chord, which is the first chord we learned in this video, we see that the 5th string 3rd fret is C, the 4th string 2nd fret is E, the 3rd string open is G, We repeat an octave C on the second string first fret and repeat an octave E on the first string open. To make a minor chord, you simply flat the third scale tone. So instead of E, we drop down to the fifth string first fret and play E flat. And we also eliminate the first string open, and we now have a C minor chord. C, E flat, G, and an octave C if we include the second string first fret. If we go back to the C major scale, and now play the first, third, fifth, and seventh tone, we have the notes for a C major 7 chord. Notes C, E, G, and B. However, we're going to flat the 7th note, or the B note, and play B flat instead. When we do this, we have a C7, or a dominant C7 chord. You will find dominant 7th chords in every style of music, from classical to blues to country, rock, and heavy metal. So since this is such a common chord, we're going to study it caged. Starting with the open C, the first chord we learned, just add your pinky to the third string, third fret. In this open position, you could include the open E strings, the first string open and the sixth string open. But to move this chord up and down the neck, the fingering stays the same, but you only strum strings 5 through 2. So here we have C7, C sharp 7, up to D7, E flat 7, E7, and on as we travel up the neck. Back to the open C7. The notes on strings 3 and 5 connect us to the A shape C7 on the 3rd fret. Bar strings 1 through 5 with your index. Place your pinky on the 2nd string 5th fret. The finger bar holds the 3rd string 3rd fret, and place your ring finger on the 4th string 5th fret. The finger bar holds the 5th string 3rd fret, so strum strings 5 through 1. Move it up the fretboard for a C sharp 7, D7, and so on. From the A-shaped C7, the notes on strings 2 and 4 bridge us to the G-shape C7 chord. Barring strings 2 through 4 on the 5th fret, add your middle finger to the 1st string 6th fret. This alone will make up a full C7 chord. Just strum 4 through 1. For a deeper sound, add your ring finger to the 5th string 7th fret. And for a full position, add your pinky to the 6th string 8th fret. You can also alternate the 1st and 6th string notes. Move your middle finger to the 6th string 6th fret and your pinky to the 1st string 8th fret. This bridges us to the E-shape C7 chord on the 8th fret. Play the C major chord, but lift your pinky to expose the 4th string 8th fret, which is held with your finger bar. And as an alternative, you can even add the 2nd string 11th fret with your pinky for a different C7 chord out of the E shape. And from here you have a movable chord shape. This connects us to the 10th fret D-shaped C7 chord. Index on the 4th string 10, middle on the 2nd string 11, ring on the 3rd string 12, and pinky on the 1st string 12. And this is your movable chord shape. Altogether, we have a caged C7, shaped C, A, G, E, and D. An example of using C7 chords might be C7 to F7, and then a G7 for a turnaround. Let's move on to caged scales. Learning scales that correspond to each chord position will greatly help you when writing melodies, leads, and fills, as well as guitar solos. Each chord form also corresponds with the different positions of the pentatonic scale. The notes C, D, E, G, and A make up the C pentatonic scale, and it starts over again on the octave C. These scale notes, simply played forward and backward, will sound musical. However, you can be as creative as you want with these notes and play them out of order as well. Scale notes easily complement each other and can be played over chords or even in place of chords for melodies and solos. Starting with the open C chord, the corresponding scale position is on the 6th string open, then 3rd, 5th string open, then 3rd, 4th string open and 2nd, 3rd string open and 2nd, 2nd string 1st fret and 3rd, and 1st string open and 3rd. In this position, we could use the same fingers to the corresponding fret number, which flows very easily from the chord to the scale. Open, ring, or 3rd, open, 3rd finger, open, 2nd, open, 2nd finger, 1st finger, 3rd finger, open, 3rd finger. When playing scales, we will pay close attention to the root notes. Since we are playing a C major pentatonic scale, the root notes are our C notes located on the 5th string 3rd fret and an octave on the 2nd string 1st fret. Knowing where these root notes are will help you when you write leads. You could create tension by avoiding the root notes, and you could resolve or relieve the tension by ending on a root note. The next position is the A-shaped C chord. The corresponding C major pentatonic scale in this position starts on the 6th string 3rd fret, which I play with my middle finger. Then 6th string 5th fret with the pinky. Next is the 5th string 3rd with the middle to the 5th fret with the pinky. The 4th string drops down to the 2nd fret, which I play with my index finger, and that is why I suggest using the middle finger for the 3rd fret notes in this position. It helps you to flow from string to string much easier. Next is the 4th string 5th fret with the pinky, onto the 3rd string 2nd fret index to 5th fret pinky, 2nd string is 3rd fret middle to 5th fret pinky, and 1st string 3rd fret to 5th fret. The root notes are on the 5th string 3rd fret, an octave on the 3rd string 5th fret. For the G-shaped C chord, the corresponding scale position starts with the 6th string 5th fret index finger to the 8th fret pinky, the 5th string 5th fret to the 7th fret ring finger, 4th string 5th fret to 7, 3rd string 5 to 7, 2nd string is 5 to 8 with the pinky, and the 1st string is 5 to 8. The root notes are on the 6th string 8th fret, octave on the 3rd string 5, and another octave on the 1st string 8. up to the E shape C chord on the 8th fret. I play the corresponding C major pentatonic scale with my middle on the 6th string 8 to 10th fret pinky, 5th string 7 with the index to 10 with the pinky, 4th string 7 to 10, 3rd string 7 to 9th fret with the ring, 2nd string 8th fret with the middle to 10th fret with the pinky, and 1st string 8 to 10. In this position, the root notes are on the 6th string 8th fret, octave on the 4th string 10, and octave on the 1st string 8th fret. The next position is the D-shaped C chord on the 10th fret, and the corresponding scale position starts on the 6th string 10th fret with the middle finger to 12th fret pinky, 5th string 10 to 12, 4th string 10 to 12, 3rd string 9th fret with the index to the 12th fret pinky. Move your index finger up to the 2nd string 10th fret to the 13th fret with the pinky, to the 1st string 10th fret index to 12th fret ring. The root notes are on the 4th string 10th fret and 2nd string 13th fret. And of course, we already know that the D-shaped caged chord always leads us back to the C octave caged chord. So here we have an octave shape for the open C chord and C pentatonic scale position. In this position, the fretted notes are 6th string 12th fret with the index to 15th fret with the pinky, 5th string is 12 to 15, 4th string is 12 to 14 with the ring finger, 3rd string is 12 to 14, 2nd string, 13th fret middle to the 15th fret with the pinky, and the 1st string is 12th fret with the index to the 15th fret pinky. The root notes are the 5th string, 15th fret, and octave on the 2nd string, 13th fret. Now that we've caged the C chord and the major pentatonic scale and have come full circle to the octave position, let's put it all together with a tempo. There are two ways you can solo with these scale positions. The first is to stay in key. Without getting into too much music theory, let's just say staying in key would be playing the scale that coincides with the main chord, or usually the starting chord of a progression. So for C, F, G chord progression, you'd use the C scale for leads and solos throughout the whole song. In other words, you don't change the scales when the chords change. Another way you could solo is to change the scale with each chord. So over the C chord, you would use the C scale. When the progression switches to F, you would switch to the F scale. And likewise for G. This is a bit more advanced than staying in key and will require you to apply the caged major pentatonic scale to other chords. The minor pentatonic scale is unique because although it is a minor scale, it is often played over major chords. For the open C major chord, the minor pentatonic position is the 6th string 1, 3, 5th string 1, 3, 4th string 1, 3, 3rd string is open 3, 2nd string 1, 4, and the 1st string 1, 3. The root notes are the same as the major pentatonic scale, 5th string 3 and 2nd string 1. Up to the A-shaped C major chord, and we have a corresponding minor pentatonic position on the 6th string 3rd to 6, 5th string 3rd to 6, 4th string 3rd to 5, 3rd string 3, 5, 2nd string 4 to 6, and 1st string 3 to 6. The root notes are in the 5th string 3 and the 3rd string 5. The G-shaped C major chord corresponds with the C minor pentatonic position starting on the 6th string 6 to 8, 5th string 6 to 8, 4th string 5 to 8, 3rd string 5 to 8, 2nd string 6, 8, and 1st string 6, 8. Root notes are on the 6th string 8th fret, 3rd string 5th fret, and 1st string 8th fret. Up to the 8th fret, E-shaped C major chord, and the corresponding minor pentatonic scale starts on the 6th string 8 to 11, 5th string 8, 10, 4th string 8, 10, 3rd string 8, 10, 2nd string 8 to 11, and 1st string 8 to 11. Root notes are on the 6th string 8th fret, 4th string 10, and 1st string 8. For the D-shaped C major chord, the C minor pentatonic position is 6th string 11 to 13, 5th string 10 to 13, 4th string 10 to 13, 3rd string 10 to 12, 2nd string 11 to 13, and 1st string 11 to 13. Root notes are on the 4th string 10 and 2nd string 13. Here's the caged C major chords and C minor pentatonic scale positions with a tempo. In part 5 of this video, we talked about the major scale and how it is used to build chords. In this section, we are going to learn the caged major scale, also known as the diatonic scale. The notes of the scale are C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Then it starts over again at the C octave. In the open C chord position, the scale notes are on the 6th string open, 1st fret index, 3rd fret ring, 5th string open, 2nd fret middle, and 3rd fret. 4th string open, 2nd fret and 3rd fret. 3rd string open and 2nd fret. 2nd string open, 1st fret and 3rd fret. 1st string open, 1st fret and 3rd fret. The root notes are the same as the previous scales, 5th string 3rd fret and 2nd string 1st fret. Up to the A-shaped C chord, and the corresponding scale position is 6th string 3rd fret with the index, stretched to 5th fret with the middle, to 7th fret pinky. 5th string, 3rd fret, 5th fret, and 7th. 4th string is 3rd, 5th, and 7th. 3rd string is the 4th fret with the index finger, and 5th fret with the middle, down to the 2nd string 3rd with the index, 5th fret with the ring, and 6th fret with the pinky. 1st string is 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Root notes are on the 5th string 3rd fret and 3rd string 5th fret. For the G-shape C chord, the major scale position is on the 6th string 5th fret index, 7th fret ring, 8th fret pinky. 5th string is 5th, 7th, 8th. 4th string is 5th, stretched to the 7th fret with the middle, then 9th fret with the pinky. 3rd string 5th with the index, 7th with the ring, 2nd string 5th with the index, 6th fret with the middle, 8th fret with the pinky, and the 1st string is 5th, 7th, and 8th. The root notes are on the 6th string 8th fret, 3rd string 5th fret, and 1st string 8th fret. The E-shaped C chord has a corresponding scale position on the 6th string 8th fret with the index, stretched to the 10th fret middle, 12th fret pinky. 5th string is also 8, 10, 12. 4th string starts on the 9th fret with the index, 10th, then 12th. 3rd string is 9, 10. 2nd string is 8, 10, 12. And the 1st string is 8, 10, 12. Roots are on the 6th string 8, 4th string 10, and 1st string 8. The D-shaped C major chord has a scale position starting on the 6th string 10th fret with the index, 12th fret with the ring, and 13th fret with the pinky. 5th string notes are 10th fret with the index, stretched to 12th fret with the middle, and 14th fret with the pinky. 4th string is also 10, 12, 14. 3rd string is 10 and 12. 2nd string is 10, 12 with the ring, 13 with the pinky, and the 1st string is also 10, 12, 13. Root notes are on the 4th string 10th fret and 2nd string 13th fret. Here's the caged C major chords and C major scale positions with a tempo. Earlier we learned the minor pentatonic scale played with or over major chords. Here, we can use the same scale position along with the caged minor chords. Since we already learned the caged C minor chords and the caged minor pentatonic scale, let's combine the two with the tempo. Now we're going to cage the C minor scale, which is made up of the notes C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, and B flat. The scale starts over again on the octave C. Starting with the open C minor chord, the corresponding minor scale starts on the 6th string, 1st fret, with the index finger, 3rd fret ring, 4th fret pinky. The 5th string notes are 1st fret, stretched to 3rd fret with the middle, 5th fret pinky. 4th string is also 1st, 3rd, and 5th. 3rd string is 1st fret to 3rd fret ring. 2nd string is 1st, 3rd, and 4th. And 1st string is also 1st, 3rd, and 4th. As we know, the root notes are on the 5th string 3rd fret and 2nd string 1st fret. Up to the A-shaped C minor chord, and we have the corresponding minor scale on the 6th string 3rd fret, 4th, and 6th. 5th string is 3rd, 5th, and 6th. 4th string is also 3rd, 5th, and 6th. 3rd string notes are 3rd and 5th. 2nd string is 3rd, 4th, and 6th. And the 1st string is also 3rd, 4th, and 6th. Root notes are on the 5th string 3rd fret and 3rd string 5th fret. From the G-shaped C minor chord, our corresponding scale starts out in the 6th string, 8th fret with the pinky, to the 5th string, 5th fret with the index, middle on 6th and pinky on 8th. 4th string is also 5th, 6th, and 8th. 3rd string is 5, 7 with the ring, and 8. Pivot up 1 fret to the 2nd string, 6th fret with the index, 8th fret with the ring, 9th fret with the pinky, to the 1st string, 6 to 8. Root notes are on the 6th string 8th fret, 3rd string 5, and 1st string 8th fret. Next is the E-shaped C minor chord with its minor scale starting on the 6th string, 8th fret with the index, 10th fret with the ring, and 11th with the pinky. The 5th string is also 8, 10, 11. 4th string notes are 8, stretched to 10 with the middle, stretched to 12 with the pinky. 3rd string is 8 to 10 with the ring. 2nd string is 8, 9 with the middle to 10 with the pinky. And the 1st string is 8, 10, 11. Root notes are on the 6th string 8th, 4th string 10, and 1st string 8. Our final cage position is the D-shaped C minor chord, and its minor scale position on the 6th string 10 index, 11 middle, 13 pinky. 5th string is also 10, 11, 13. 4th string is 10, 12 with the ring, and 13. 3rd string is also 10, 12, and 13. The 2nd string is 11 with the middle to 13, and the 1st string is 10, 11, and 13. Root notes are on the 4th string 10th fret and 2nd string 13. now that we've caged the C minor chords and scales, let's put it all together with a tempo. I found an excellent exercise is to practice all of the caged positions and scales together. The more you do it, the more creative you'll become when writing and improvising. Here, we'll start with the major chords and play each caged position along with the major pentatonic, then again with the minor pentatonic, and follow it up with the major diatonic scale. Then switch to caged minor chords with minor pentatonic, then with minor diatonic scale positions. And we'll end the exercise with the caged 7 chords. Here's the key of C caged with a tempo. Now you should feel very comfortable applying the CAGED method to all of the musical keys. For example, if you learn a song that uses a B-flat chord, say this A-shaped or A-form chord on the first fret, you know that the next shape will be a G. From G, we go to E, then D, and so on. You can also apply the minor caged, dominant 7 caged, and you also know the different scale shapes to apply to each chord. So I certainly recommend that you take time to apply the CAGED method to each and every chord in the musical alphabet. Although we don't have enough space on this DVD to apply the CAGED system to every musical note or key, for your benefit, the sheet music for every key can be found in the bonus stills section of this video. Just go to the main menu and click Bonus section. Then click CAGED Sheet Music, and there you'll find giant on-screen charts for every note in the musical alphabet. You can also print the caged charts by accessing this disc on a computer. Congratulations for making it this far, and thanks for hanging out with me to learn the caged guitar method. I'd like to encourage you to expand on your guitar playing skills. In the caged guitar method, we learn to map 4 different scales on the fretboard. There are many other scales that can be used to enhance your guitar playing, and many different tricks, techniques, and patterns that can be applied to these scales. To learn more about scales and techniques, check out our best-selling Total Scales, Techniques, and Applications. This DVD will show you how to apply all of the tricks and techniques used by the pros to create awesome guitar solos. Or, if you would just like to learn quick, basic scales in one position, check out Easy Guitar Scales DVD. Either one will have you playing a ton of scales. Get Total Scales for complete fretboard mastery, or Easy Scales to learn basic root to octave positions. Both titles teach over 50 different scales. Be on the lookout for other titles in the MJS Easy DVD series. From blues to rock and metal to country, whammy bar, fingerpicking, slide guitar, and more. Finally, no guitarist is complete without a good dose of music theory. Easy Caged Guitar DVD teaches you to play the caged method using charts, but it does so keeping things very simple. If you would like to understand more about musical notes and how they interact with each other, then we highly recommend Easy Guitar Theory DVD. This will give you a world of insight into understanding, reading, and writing music and how it is applied to the guitar. Also, many of our titles are available for bass guitar, so if you're starting a band or jamming with other musicians, you can make amazing progress by using our bass and guitar titles together. For more information about any of our titles, please visit www.mjspublications.com or call 1-866-463-9247. You can also check out my personal website at www.markjohnsternal.info. I'm Mark John Sternal, and thanks for hanging out with me and learning to apply the caged method to the guitar.